guys, Taylor here and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you've already been here, thanks for coming back. So in today's video, I'm coming at y'all with another concealer review. Today we are going to be talking about the newest concealer from Haus Labs. So if you are interested in seeing or just hearing my thoughts, then please keep on watching. Before we start the video, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please turn your post notifications on so you get notified every time your girl uploads a video. And follow me on Instagram. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright you guys, so my brows are already done. I'm wearing lashes from Sephora Collection in the style Charming. For the eyes, I used the Juvia's Space Chocolate eyeshadow palette. I've been loving this eyeshadow palette. It's just basic brown shadows, perfect for everyday wear. For skin prep, I used my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Serum. And on my lips, I have the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. This is the scent Vanilla. I am going to prime my skin before I tell you guys about the concealer, just so my primer can sit while I talk about the concealer. I'm using my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. This is in the shade Universal. And I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit and apply this all over my face. Alright you guys, so let's talk about the newest concealer from Haus Labs. This is the Skin Tech Triclone Hydrating Concealer. It is supposed to be the matching concealer to the amazing Triclone foundation from Haus Labs. It retails for $32 and comes in 31 shades. It is supposed to be a lightweight, long-wearing, non-comedogenic concealer that does more than cover. It visibly blurs, depuffs, brightens, and conceals with medium buildable coverage. I did pick this concealer up in two shades. I got the shade number 40 and the shade 42. This concealer will be available in store and online on September 7th, but they did do an early release on Sephora, so I was able to grab two shades. If you are planning to pick this concealer up and you're not sure what shade to get, Haus Labs did put out a guide based on the foundation. I am the shade 470 in the Haus Labs foundation, so for my perfect match concealer, it did suggest to me shade 43, and then to brighten my under eye, it did suggest shade number 40. I was a little bit iffy with 43 after seeing the swatches, so I ended up going with shade 42 and 40. I am going to pop this guide up on the screen so you know what I'm talking about, but I think this is a great way to figure out what shade to pick up in this concealer. I did receive my order on Saturday, so I tried the concealer on Sunday and I also tried it on Monday. Today is Tuesday when I'm filming this video, so even though I'm not going to do a wear test, I know how the concealer wears. I know how I feel about the concealer. Honestly, I don't need two shades in this concealer. I feel like this is one that I'm going to be able to use multiple shades. If I was supposed to get one single shade of this concealer, I would either get the shade 42 or the shade 41, which is what I'm going to pick up once the concealer officially launched, but I still wanted to try both shades out for you guys. So before I go in with the concealer, I am going to apply foundation. Today I'm going to be using the McGrath Skin Fetich Sublime Perfection foundation. I have this in the shade, I think my label is gone, but I think it's either shade 26 or 29. I will have it linked down below for you guys. The first time that I tried the concealer, I did use it with the Haus Labs foundation, and then the second time that I tried it, I used it with the McGrath foundation. So I just want you guys to see what it looks like with other products. I forgot to show you guys what the packaging of the concealer looks like, but it's just like a mini version to the foundation. I'm going to go ahead and swatch both the shades for you guys. So this is what the shade 42 looks like. It is going to be great to conceal the under eyes, and this shade right here is the shade number 40. The shade number 42 is supposed to be medium deep with neutral undertone, and the shade number 40 is supposed to be medium deep with golden undertone. On Sephora, the shade description for number 40 is medium deep neutral undertone, which is why I got number 40, because I personally don't like golden concealers. When I got my concealer in the mail and I swatched it, I noticed that it looked a bit golden, and then I checked the packaging and the packaging says medium deep golden. Once I apply the concealer, it doesn't look bad, but I'm just saying be mindful of that. I went ahead and I swatched my NARS concealer next to the Haus Labs. So this concealer right here is the NARS concealer in the shade Almond. This one in the middle that looks golden is the Haus Labs in the shade number 40, and then this one over here is the shade 42 from Haus Labs. Number 42 from Haus Labs in comparison to NARS Amande doesn't look far off at all, so I feel like the shade number 41 from Haus Labs is going to be my perfect concealer shade if I just want to pick up one shade of this concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the shade number 42 in the Haus Labs concealer. So as you can see, this shade, it is going to conceal, but it gives me like the tiniest bit of brightness under the eyes, which is why I feel like number 41 is going to be the perfect concealer shade. I'm just going to apply this everywhere. And this concealer is more on the thicker side, but not like cakey thick, just in terms of consistency. And it's very, very hydrating. And I'm going to take the shade number 40, but I'm not going in with too much because it is more on the golden side, just to add a little bit of brightness. So this is 40 right here. It's just a tad bit brighter. I feel like the only difference with these two shades is the undertone, which is why I feel like number 41 is going to be perfect. And I'm going to apply a little bit more right here, but not too much. And this concealer isn't going to dry down super fast. It is very, very hydrating. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my cream bronzer. I'm using the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade medium. And I'm using this on a E4 brush from Morphe. So being that I'm trying this concealer for the first time for you guys on camera, I'm going to blend one side with a sponge and one side with a brush so you guys can see what it looks like. For the sponge, I'm using the Shop Miss A Papa sponge. You can find them on my Amazon storefront. And then for the brush, I'm using the BK Beauty X Angie Hot and Flashy Concealer brush. This is the A506 brush. I will also have this linked down below. I'm going to go in with the brush first, and I'm going to use the brush on this side of my face. And even though the concealer has been sitting for a minute, it is still blending really, really nicely. As I said, this is very, very hydrating. But just like the Haus Labs foundation, there's something in there that just grips onto your skin, so it's not going to move around. And this is what it looks like with the brush. I will blend the edges out afterwards. I'm going to grab the sponge and I'm going to take it on this side. And this is what the concealer looks like with the sponge. So sponge versus brush. It is a medium coverage concealer, but both sides look really smooth. But as you can see, the side with the brush, you're definitely getting more coverage. So if you want more coverage, use a brush. This is what it looks like after blending. I'm just going to take back the brush and just pass over both sides just to kind of like even them out. And then I'm going to grab my bronzer brush again and just blend the edges so everything looks nice and seamless. I like to go in with a light layer of powder on a brush, and then I'll go in with like a powder puff. This just gives me like a light set just so it doesn't crease up. I don't know if I mentioned this, but for powder, I went in with the Sephora Collection translucent powder, and the brush that I used is the BK Beauty 108 brush. Whenever I'm trying a new concealer, I love to use this powder because I know it works with literally everything. So I know if anything happens, it's not the powder, it must be the concealer. And then I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. This is in the shade Medium Deep number 2, and I'm just picking this up on a powder puff also from Amazon, and I press off the excess of this powder and then I press it under my eyes, and this is just going to help to lock it in even more, but just give me a little bit of brightness under my eyes. Don't know if you guys can see, so this side looks a little less glowy because of this powder. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Sephora Collection Matte Perfection powder. This is in the shade 64 Neutral Mocha, and I'm using a 105 brush from BK just to press this in. Alright you guys, so this is what my face is looking like after setting. This concealer is amazing. It is very hydrating. It is going to give you coverage, but under my eyes look really smooth without looking cakey. Even though it is a thicker concealer, it is not moving around at all. I know you guys want to know how this concealer compares to the new Makeup by Mario concealer, but I am going to finish the rest of my face off camera, then come back, give you guys my final thoughts, and let y'all know how it compares to the Makeup by Mario concealer. So I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I'm back, and this is the finished look. I didn't do too much because I want to keep the face looking a little bit simple today. I did go in with the tiniest bit of blush from Patrick Ta. I used the shade She's Vibrant. I will have it linked down below. For lips, I used the Makeup Forever brown lip liner, and for lipstick, I paired it with the Huda Beauty lipstick in the shade Anniversary. For gloss, I mixed e.l.f. with Fenty Sweet Mouth, and e.l.f. Pink Cosmo. And then for setting spray, I used the Morphe setting spray and the One Size setting spray together. But my final thoughts on the new Haus Labs concealer. Y'all, this concealer is amazing. If you love the Haus Labs foundation, you are going to love this concealer. You guys know when I love something, I talk about it non-stop, so be prepared to hear me talk about this concealer non-stop. It is that good. I do find that it is a very hydrating concealer, but it blurs and smooths your under eye, and it wears extremely well, just as good as the foundation. In terms of how this compares to the Makeup by Mario concealer, after playing with both concealers, honestly you guys, I love the Makeup by Mario concealer, but I feel like I love the Haus Labs just a little bit more because it is hydrating. Both concealers are pretty similar. They're both medium coverage, both blurring concealers, both long wearing concealers, but I feel like going into the colder months, the Haus Labs is going to be a little bit better. Makeup by Mario works for all skin types, but if you have extremely dry under eyes, I'd say go for the Haus Labs. It's such an amazing concealer, and I also feel like the shade range of the Haus Labs concealer is a little bit better. I can use the shade number 40 and 42, but I feel like if I get the shade number 41, that is like my perfect shade and I don't need anything else. Whereas with the Makeup by Mario concealer, it's a little bit tricky to find a good shade. But all in all, I love both concealers. I really do enjoy this concealer. Y'all, if you love the foundation, go out and pick this concealer up. It is absolutely amazing. Alright you guys, so that is everything for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed everything that I used in this video. I will have linked down below. If you guys want a review on the Makeup by Mario concealer, I will also have my review linked up above. Let's keep the conversation going about this concealer in the comment section down below. Let me know if you are going to pick it up. Once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.